But if you're saying open the gate, it should lead to something. If you're going to spend $25,000, it should then be compounded to make it into something.
Which is why I voted against it.
Okay, so we're not going to go forward and do something. All we're going to do is comply for no reason.
That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you.
John.
Well, DES's opinion is that it is a hazard, not because of the dam or anything downstream of the dam, but if you get a 100-year storm, the water will slide sideways onto 123A, go down about 2 houses, and go back down toward the river, and then there's a couple of houses there that are subject to some damage.
All very interesting, lots and lots of work has obviously been done on both sides of the issue. The thing that's clear to me is that there are no clear answers as to the appropriate way to proceed. I think Ira's motion for amending to 0 affords us the chance to not fund this, go back to the drawing board and see what long-term strategies we ought to have. And there doesn't seem to be an immediate danger that needs to be addressed at this moment. So, given all of that, I would move the question.
Moved and seconded that we end the debate on the amendment to Article 13. All in favor of ending debate, moving the question, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? No. Okay. The affirmative vote to end debate on the amendment. I will now take a vote on the amendment to see if the town will raise and appropriate the sum of not more than $0 to dredge wireless pools so the gate can be opened. All in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? No. No. I'm calling out my vote. Now, I'll open the amended Article 13 back up to debate. We are now debating the Article 13 is amended to $0. Move the drawing.
I have a question as far as where did the $25,000 come from? You know, is this to have the spread of the open gate? Does it include open gate? Where does that money, the idea of that come from? The figure.
The figure from estimates gathered by people who bid it. We put out an RFP for doing that.
So that was for dredging and opening the state boat?
That's correct.
Without dynamite, I mean,
There's a prescriptive method, more or less, it's an outline of a prescriptive method that was attached to the RFP that was supplied by the state. The dynamite wasn't included.
Then the other question is, are we under threat of being fined by the state if this is not done?
Theoretically.
Theoretically, do you have a letter to that? Okay, and when does it have to be done by?
Well, probably about a year and a half ago.
Okay, I mean, we've been fined by the state before. How much is the fine?
They didn't give into numbers or anything like that. When we met with the Dam Bureau at the dam, Matt, you want to recount the meeting?
Yeah, what we get from DES around dams, we always get these ugly letters with deadlines. And every time I've called the author of that letter, who signed the letter at the bottom, I met with a gracious, kind, thoughtful individual. What I know about this is that these letters of deficiency have been scattered all over the state on old little dams places, with practically impossible demands in the letters for retrofitting these dams for their idea of a modern, operating, danger-less dam. There is no way that these little towns who have these letters of deficiencies can meet the terms of the deficiencies because space is limited. I mean, it's a tight space up there. They want it just doesn't work. So it is my thought around all this that at some point this has to relax because it just can't be done. The things we are being asked to do to that dam could cost $700,000 or $800,000. And we're not gonna do that, we're never gonna do that.
Where do you cut it? I mean, that's.
That's the raising the retaining wall against the road so that no water ever goes onto Route 123A. I'm saying, this is what it reads like, honestly.
No, when we had the hydrology report, because we had to have the hydrology report done, that was one of the recommendations. When we met with Mr. Chuck Corliss from the Dam Bureau, he would not commit to an amount or a time. He basically just kind of nudge, nudge, wink, wink. As long as you guys keep trying, you'll be fine. And that's what we're doing. We're trying.
I hear somebody say that there was $600,000 in trust.
Cannot be used for that.
Why aren't we voting on that?
Because
then the issue to the town is nil.
we went to the lawyers, and the lawyers said very, very definitively, very specifically, when you look at Mr. Vilas's will, that money is not for the dam, its maintenance, nor is it for the pedestrian bridge. It's only for basically that shoreline back.
And if the dam is pulled out and there's no more Vilas pool, what are we gonna do with the trust money?
Let's not even go there right now.
It makes no sense.
Perhaps I can help. The trust is not ours and it is not held by us. It's a condition of Mr. Vilas' will. Whether that was a wonderful gift or not is a matter of some debate. And I have no idea where the trust would go, or the dam to go first, and the program. That's it.
Any questions?
Moved and seconded that we end debate on the amended Article 13. The article has been amended to read, see if the town will appropriate the sum of not more than $0 of dredge Vilas pool to the gate can be opened. Did I take it? I'm not sure if I even didn't want to move the question. All in favor of moving the question? Aye. Opposed? Okay, that's an aye vote on moving the question. Now to see if the town will raise an appropriate sum of not more than $0 to dredge Vilas pools to the gate can be open. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? No. Okay, I'll call that an affirmative vote, and then that is what will go on the ballot. Okay. Okay, there was a point of order has been made that I evidently did not ask for a vote on the amended Article 12. So I am going to revisit Article 12, and we are going to take another vote on the amended Article 12 to see Go, everybody except Leanne, please be quiet.
When we voted on 12, we voted to end the discussion, but we never voted whether or not we really wanted the change from the 55,000 to the 45,000. That vote we never taken. We only voted to end the discussion. And we were discussing whether to amend 55,000 to 45,000. So that's why we really have to take that vote, because it hasn't been done.
Okay, the consensus of the election officials here was that I failed to ask for that vote. So I am going to revisit Article 12, and I am going to ask for that vote again on the amendment to Article 12. So I am asking the question now, is to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $45,000 to repair the 1994 John Deere grader for the Department of Public Works. All in favor of amending Article 12 to that sum, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? No. Okay, so I will have to open it up again for discussion on the amended article. Is there any further discussion on the amended article?
Move the question.
Moved and seconded that we end discussion on Article 12. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, Article 12 will go on the ballot to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $45,000 to repair the 1994 John Deere grader for the Department of Public Works.
Moderator, I'd like to, take a break.
Do I have a second? It's been moved and seconded that we have a lunch break at this time. Break, please.
Esther says if you didn't bring any food, you can't have any of her beans and wieners. They came in me.
All those in favor of, wait, I'm going to have a time to that proposal.
20 minutes. Why do you guys do these? Just go get place to go back. We don't waste time.
Would you make your motion to recess and re-adjourn at 5 minutes after 2?
I make my motion to recess and adjourn at 5 minutes after 2.
Bingo.
That motion seconded?
I second.
Okay, all in favor of recessing the meeting and re-adjourning at 5 minutes after 2, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? I'm going to ask for a hand vote. Please don't make it difficult with the counters to see what's going on here. All those in favor of breaking for a recess until 5 minutes after 2, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Okay, I think the no's had it. Okay. Okay, we are still in session. Yes, Steve.
I have a question. When the ballot is taken on Article 12, the vote is taken on Article 12, if it fails, what becomes of that article? Do they go back to the $25,000?
45.
Or the 45, give me.
Yeah.
Or the 13, give me. On the ballot pool article. If that's been 0, if failed, what becomes of the article?
If article, you're asking that what would have happened if the article had failed?
Yes.
Article 13.
Right.
I would have brought it back up for further discussion and tried to get another.
Not now.
Not now.
On the date that we vote.
The article has to go on the ballot. So if we don't have an affirmative vote on the article today, it would go on the ballot as written. I would have tried to have gotten an affirmative vote before we ended discussion. We had an affirmative
Got
vote.
the affirmative vote and it's 0 ballot. Right. Right? Put it on the ballot. Right.
then no money gets spent because no money is being appropriated.
No, that is, if it gets a yes vote, that means no money is appropriated. If it gets a no vote, well,
That means that no money is getting appropriated.
still zero.
Still zero. Okay, if I can bring the meeting back to order, please. We're on Article 14. See if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of up to $5,000 for tree removal in the town cemetery. Majority vote required, recommended by the Board of Selectmen. This is in addition to the warrant article number 2, the operating budget.
I move the article be placed on the ballot as written.
I second it.
Moved and seconded that Article 14 be placed on the ballot as written. Do I have discussion? Moved and seconded that article, that discussion be ended on Article 14. All those in favor of moving the question, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. I declare an affirmative vote. Article 14 will go on the ballot as written. Article 15, see if the town will raise and appropriate the sum of $6,000 for the inspection of the Violet Pool pedestrian bridge. Majority vote required, recommended by the Board of Selectmen. This is in addition to warrant article number 2, the operating budget. Do I have a motion?
Move the article be placed on the ballot as written.
Second.
Moved and seconded that Article 15 be placed on the ballot as written. Discussion?
This is a requirement from the town's insurance company. And we have put it out to bid, and this is the quote to inspect the bridge over the dam.
Question. Move the question. Move the question.
Okay, we just had a point of order here. I think the gentleman over here has the floor.
I ask to move the question.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we move the question, that we have discussion on Article 15. All in favor of moving the question, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. Declared an affirmative vote. Article 15 will go on the ballot as written. Article 16, to see if the town will raise and appropriate the sum of $10,000 to strike the paved road. Majority vote required, recommended by the Board of Selectmen. This is in addition to warrant article number 2 of the operating budget. Do I have a motion?
Move the article be placed on the ballot as written.
Do I have a second? Moved and seconded that Article 16 be placed on the ballot as written. Do I have discussion? Sir?
I'd like to amend that 0.
Seconded.
I thought I'd been going for 25 years, I have built my home
Moved and seconded that Article be amended to the sum of $0. Gloria would like that in writing, please. Discussion? Fred?
Hallway was closed and we found our best way to keep the Walpole Valley Road. I was always afraid when I got off the Walpole section and got off the Alstead section. That's a center driveway and a side driveway. I felt much safer driving on that road. Question came out there, when we discussed it or not, but I think the safety of our residents on our local roads, we ought to be keeping the line on the road.
Just my personal opinion, if you're gonna straighten the paved road, you're probably gonna straighten the ground road, then do so you're not discriminating.
Rose?
This is a point of interest to the gentleman that lives on a gravel road. Traffic normally on gravel roads is traveling at a much slower speed than generally, I said, I know there's some idiots that go faster than me. As you get older, your eyesight diminishes, you will find that these 20 miles up.
Michael?
Thanks, Peter. The safety factor for older folks is a big deal, because your vision narrows in a little bit, that little white line in the far, very nice, very nice. As far as being on dirt road, I don't think it's gravel should reach the speed or should be, but there are other things that break up the vision. So I support this.
Benji?
I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and I do agree with the safety factor, and a lot of other people do like these lines on the road. I'm not a fan of them myself, but the other factor there is all those people that said they do like and do not believe in it, down to the So,
We're going to hold discussion for just a minute here. Claude?
I have to agree that traveling up and down that Walpole Valley Road, that last path, when you get a real thick fog, you can't see the asphalt. It just disappears except for the lines on the side of the road. I mean, if you wanted to save some money and didn't want to put any lines in the middle, you could do that, but the outside edge ones are the important.
And?
Yes, discussing Walpole Valley Road, not only are the lines, it does get foggy, but also the lines on the outside, there's a culvert there that if you go off the road at all, you're in the ditch, because the culvert has no overhang off the road. It's simply the width of the road.
I have a comment over on the, yeah, Rachel.
Can we ask Dave if it's necessary to do this every year?
If you're going to do it, it ought to be done every year. If you're not going to do it, don't do it at all.
Alder?
Oh, I'm sorry, Walter. You all want Walter to stay, don't you?
Chris?
I think it's time to defeat this amendment. Therefore, I call for that to defeat the amendment.
You call discussion. Question has been moved and seconded to end discussion on the amendment to Article 16. All in favor of ending discussion on the amendment to amend Article 16 to $0. All in favor of ending the discussion on that amendment, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, we will end discussion on the amendment. Now we will vote on the amendment. All in favor of amending Article 16 to see if the town will raise and appropriate the sum of $0 to strike the paved roads, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? No. I think the ayes have that. Everybody? Show of hands. If I'm requested. All in favor all in favor of amending Article 16 to the sum of $0, please raise your vote. All opposed to amending Article 16 to the sum of $0. There we have 61 in favor of amending, 41 against amending. So, we declare the vote to amend the article is passed. I will now reopen the discussion of the amended Article 16. As amended to $0. Is there any discussion on the amended article? Moved and seconded that we end debate on the amended Article 16. So, all in